Okay, so the background for generating a world has changed. I didn't know it was going to do that. What's up, Agents? Zero here, and welcome back to another Minecraft Pocket Edition video. And today we're going to be taking a look at something that I don't do on my channel very often. Today we're going to be looking at a resource pack. Now I know yesterday technically was a resource pack to showcase the X-ray pack, which if you guys want to check out that video, there will be a link down in the description. Not that you have to. I'm not saying that. But I don't technically count that as a resource pack because I see that more of a mod more than anything, even though it's technically a resource pack, because it does something to the game that technically it's not supposed to do. Basically, it took everything that you would expect and made it invisible so you can find the important stuff, and, well, that's a mod to me. So today we're going to be looking at an official resource pack, and the resource pack in question is actually right here, the Paper Cutout Resource Pack. Now, this was actually recently updated within the past few days for support for 1.2, and if you actually turn this resource pack on by default, which I actually did not do because I'm not going to be doing that for all of my worlds, it's supposed to actually change up some of these splashes, and if I'm not mistaken, it does in fact change up a little bit of the tile screen. I'm not 100% sure. I am currently thinking about putting in a resource pack into my everyday videos. The only thing is the resource pack that I'm currently looking into has a few bugs in it, and it's because of the current version of Pocket Edition. It's going to be fixed in 1.2, so yeah, just a little bit of heads up. I will be doing an actual resource pack in my videos once 1.2 comes out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to generate a random world, and I'm just going to fly around, see what the world actually looks like, and I'm going to leave it on normal. Yeah, let's go ahead and turn that on. Let's go ahead and turn this resource pack on. Now, I do not actually have the 1.2 version just because I don't think the 1.2 version will actually work on the current version of Pocket Edition, since I'm not actually in the beta. I could be completely wrong because the majority of it is textures of the actual blocks in the game, because I've actually added resource packs in the past, so I know exactly how to do it. So now I just need to wait until it decides to load in the resource pack and try to load in the world. Okay, so the background for generating a world has changed. I didn't know it was going to do that. Okay, so that's actually kind of interesting to know. I'm assuming this is supposed to be leaves based on the screenshots that I've seen from the download page on MCPEDL, which, by the way, this resource pack was actually ported over from PC by a pair of people. It's by Dash Droid and Sam Delama, which I'm going to put their links down in the description. You guys are welcome. So, yeah, that's basically all I have to say until the world actually ends up loading, which I'm wondering if it's taking a bit of time to load because it's trying to A, generate the world, and then B, loading the textures. I don't really know. Okay, so it just loaded in the world, and I decided to go ahead and clear my inventory of everything that I had, and already I'm starting to see a lot of changes, although I'm not 100% sure I like the look of this pack. I know some of you might like the look of this. Take a look at these pumpkins. This looks so simple. That's basically all I can say. And this looks like gravel, sand. I'm assuming that's what all that is. Let's take a look, see what the mobs actually look like. Did the mobs change? It looks like they did. The sheep are looking off to one side as opposed to off to either side, which is a really interesting change to say the least. Is there like anything special that I can take a close look at? Okay, so here are a few, or at least a tree. I was about to say a few trees, it's just one tree. So the leaves, yeah, the background of the loading screen was definitely the leaves, as I suspected, and the logs. This is actually a rather interesting texture for the outside of the log itself, and we've got ourselves a little bit of cave, maybe not. What about over here? Yeah, we've definitely got a cave. It looks like it ought to be a cave, maybe not. No, I guess not. Okay, so I guess I'm not going to be caving to see what stuff actually looks like. Okay, so here's a cow that spawned, and I can already definitely see there's a huge difference here, and I didn't even notice my hotbar down below. That's actually kind of interesting. Alright, so I can definitely see there's significant splotches on the cow. That's actually kind of interesting. We've got a donkey over here that spawned, and the donkey looks rather plain. I'm going to be completely honest, but it doesn't look bad. Okay, so we've got hopefully some decent cave systems down here. Let me see what some of this stuff looks like. Okay, I'm definitely seeing a lot of changes as far as some of these textures are concerned. The spawn eggs are actually kind of interesting. Did they change anything on these boats? I don't know why I stuttered there. The boats look any different. Oh, yes, they do. They definitely look different. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting to know. So let's go ahead. Oh, I like the look of this flint and steel. That looks really cool. Okay, so what is this? This is a clock, apparently. Redstone. Let's go ahead and get a torch, see what the inside of this place looks like. I'm not seeing any ores so far. I'm assuming this is one of the stone variage andesite. That's what I'm assuming that is. Stone actually looks really good. It looks so plain. So here's iron. That's actually a really cool texture for the ore. I do like that. Alright, so, and then here's some coal. So the coal, I guess I can't make too big of a complaint. It looks the same as the iron, or at least somewhat similar. Alright. I'm not sure I should actually go and look deep inside this cave to see what everything actually looks like, but we got a good idea of what some of the textures actually look like. And where's my, there we go. Is this, yes it is. Okay, so we got an idea of what some of the inside of a cave looks like. So we've got ourselves, it looks like this is a birch tree, I'm assuming. Actually, I like the look of the birch tree right now, because ordinarily I don't like the look of birch logs, but this actually doesn't look too bad. I don't know why I don't like birch, it's just I don't. I'm actually curious on what else different we can actually find. So, okay, so here's apparently a chicken, and the chicken looks a lot cleaner than the default vanilla texture, which I actually do like the way that looks. So we've got ourselves a desert, and I want to see what these cactus look like. Oh, I do actually like the look that this cactus had. That's actually pretty cool. Something I didn't even notice, or at least not right away, is that apparently this seed that I have has a desert temple, which is kind of interesting. I didn't spawn the seed in expecting to be able to find anything good. But since I'm in this seed, actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna put this seed down in the description, although I don't know if I'm gonna post it anywhere else. This was just something that happened to spawn in my Load the World. I didn't even know it was gonna happen. So now I'm actually kind of curious on what some other stuff actually looked like. So I'm gonna spawn in, let's spawn in a pig, because I haven't seen a pig as of yet. What does the pig look like? Okay, so the pig's texture has been definitely cleaned up, although that face I'm not 100% sure I like. Textures on this resource pack have turned out to be rather clean, but there are some things that look okay, and there are some things that just don't look okay. I'm gonna be completely honest. I am curious about every single ore in the game. We already saw coal and iron. I'm kind of curious about the remainder of the ores. So, okay, so gold, I don't see anything special about the gold. The diamond, ooh, I really do like the look of the diamonds here. That's actually really cool. So what about the lapis? Anything? No. Didn't expect anything special. What about redstone? Okay, I can definitely see how the redstone looks this way. Little red dots. What about the emeralds? Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. Because, okay, so it's supposed to make it look like an emerald block, but they look like right now in 1.1, which they're going to change the textures in 1.2, which is unfortunate because I kind of like the the current textures of the emerald block. Call me weird if you want, just leave me at it. So here's nether quartz, which actually, I'm not 100% sure how to feel about that. Maybe if I were to see it against netherrack, maybe it might look a little bit better. Okay, that does look a little bit better next to the netherrack. I'm going to be completely honest. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Okay, so I'm not 100% sure what else I want to actually take a look at. There's a lot of stuff in here that has definitely changed. I want to get closer looks at. What about the bone block? Did they change the bone block at all? It doesn't look like much has changed to the bone block. I don't know why I'd expect that, but it doesn't look like a lot of change. I'm wondering if this was done before some of these blocks were added in. Yeah, I think this was done before some of these newer blocks were added, because the magma block doesn't look any different. I'm not seeing any changes on the bone block, and I'm assuming the red nether brick doesn't look any different. Yeah, the red nether brick doesn't seem to look any different. What about next to regular nether brick? Does it look any different? Actually, the regular nether brick does look really good, but I don't think the vanilla ended up changing for red. So apparently this was made before the new blocks were added, which is actually kind of unfortunate. But I'm glad the resource pack creator decided to make some of these changes. And I am kind of curious, what does glass look like? Oh, that looks really good. Without these streaks in it, I'd say this is probably one of the best glass textures I've ever seen out of a resource pack. Nice. Alright, so there is one last thing that I did actually want to take a look at, and that's basic redstone. The basic redstone components. I want to see what these actually look like, because you guys know me, I'm a huge redstone person. I want to see what these kind of things actually look like. Alright, so if I place down just one redstone, let's just move over here away from the flowers. So this piece of redstone does, oh, that's okay. I could definitely see how that's gonna be the way it is. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting to see. So what does the repeater look like? Okay, So I can definitely see a huge difference. You know what? I want to see what some of this looks like when it has power. So if I go ahead and put a lever down right here, okay, that's kind of cool. I do like the way the repeater does look. What about a comparator? Okay, that's actually really interesting to look at. If I go ahead and turn that on, okay, I guess I shouldn't have expected too much about that. Okay, so what about pistons? Okay, I do kind of like this, not 100%, but this texture does make a lot of sense to me. What about sticky pistons? Okay, so the only change I'm seeing is in the direct center has a green square in it, so that's the only difference I'm seeing. Then again, that's technically what a sticky piston technically is, so I guess I can't say I'm too surprised. I'm actually kind of looking at some of the tools and armor, because I want to see what these actually kind of look like. Redstone lamps, I didn't even realize what about these, so let's see what this looks like. If I can actually get this to turn on. Maybe it's because it's... Okay, there we go. Maybe it's because the redstone isn't directed at the redstone lamp is probably what it is. But that actually doesn't look all too bad. So, what about these tools? Okay, I don't see a lot of difference on these tools. But I do see that there's like slightly, slight color changes made to some of the outlines. So let's see what the armor actually looks like when I'm wearing it. So if I go ahead and put this on, and okay, this is interesting. I like the fact that it doesn't have the centerpiece going down in front of my face. That actually is one thing that really annoys the absolute crap out of me whenever I have a basic armor on. So that's actually kind of good to know that they decide to remove that. That's actually kind of cool to look at. I do like the way it looks. It makes it look so like it's not just simply the diamond. It's got a little bit of, it looks a little bit like it ought to have like some other material inside of it as well. And something I was just looking at is the way some of these ores actually look like. These actually look pretty good. I'm gonna be completely honest. What about these crops? What if I plant a few crops? What do they look like? I know this is going on a lot longer than I thought it would, but I'm really curious on what some of this stuff actually looks like. And I think after I do the crops, I'm gonna be pretty much done with the looking at the actual resource pack itself. So I actually am curious on what some of these crops actually are going to end up looking like once they're fully grown. So if I go ahead and get carrot, potato, and let me go ahead and get out some bone meal. Oh, this is kind of interesting to see for the dyes. Although I don't know how much sense it actually makes. But you know what? I'll go with it. Whatever. So if I go ahead and do this, and it actually looks kind of interesting, I'm not going to lie. It actually looks a lot like it ought to be. Actually, a farmland, which is kind of, I don't know if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't. Alright, so let's see what these actually look like. And let's go ahead and grow these to full size. Okay, I do like the way these crops are looking so far. So that's actually really cool. And okay, that actually looks closer to realistic wheat than actual vanilla wheat. Because in real life, wheat actually has more of this particular color. I'm not sure how to describe it. I'm sure some of you probably do. I just don't know how to describe this color. But this is a lot closer in color to real life wheat than that of what's in Minecraft. I really do like the way that looks. I think I've pretty much gone on about everything I possibly could, as far as this resource pack is concerned, I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff I could still technically look at, but I think I've covered pretty much everything I really need to as far as this resource pack is concerned. I'm just kind of looking through everything, see if there's anything different that I could possibly look at that's worth looking at, and I'm not really seeing. Actually, I am curious about this Kawa because of the texture. I mean, the texture alone, I guess that's really not too much of a surprise based on the texture inside the inventory. But that is actually, that's kind of interesting looking. It's at least, it's different. I'm gonna give it that. Not sure what else to say about it. But you know what? I think with that out of the way, I think this is a good place to go ahead and end off the video. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you did, make sure that like button. One more, then make sure that subscribe button for future content. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at AgentCP0 to stay updated. This has been Zero Studios. Thank you guys for watching, and with that, I will see you guys later.